original email.
All right. So good morning. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. We got a couple of birthdays today. DJ is, well, we're not going to say her age, but it's her birthday. So we're going to celebrate her birthday.
Yeah.
And then my employee, Devin's birthday is today also, and he is watching the phones for us while we have our meeting. So hopefully we'll get a few more faces in. I know Deb is trying to log in right now, and hopefully Mac will be able to join us shortly. So let's kick off today. We do have another guest hopefully next week. Yes, ma'am.
Can I go first? Because I might have to take this call.
Yeah, you can go first. So we'll kick off with the intros and let you go ahead and do your intro real quick.
Good morning, Biz Pros. Danielle Dryden with Dryden Tax Resolution. I'm on a hold with the IRS right now to get an agreement set up for a client, so I might have to jump off real quick, but I'll be back. The IRS made an announcement of sorts that they are looking at focusing on S corporations and specifically shareholder basis. I have no expectation that you have a clue what that means, but suffice it to say, if you are an S corporation, you should probably get your house in order because they will be auditing S corporations for what you will see as no reason at all. But they are looking to make sure that you are claiming the proper basis, which is the contribution that you've made to your corporation and the money that you are pulling out of it, because S corps are pass-through entities. So there's a lot of room for error, whether intentional or unintentional. So if you have questions about how to make sure that you are good to go, you should call Steve, but don't do it right now because he is ill and is not available. But you should do so in the next 30 days or so. Make sure that you're getting that taken care of because they had a similar threat early last year before COVID started that they were going to start auditing Schedule C businesses. They weren't lying. So I don't suspect that they are lying about this either. Schedule C business audits has increased at almost 4,000%. 4,000%. So get your S Corp in order. If you have questions about that, please talk to your tax preparer. If you don't have a tax preparer, you should get one and you should call Steve. Danielle Dryden.
What do you mean by a Schedule C business? What do you mean by Schedule C business?
Schedule C business, so you file your business income and expenses on your personal tax return as opposed to being a corporation and filing it separately.
Gotcha. Okay. That'd be me.
All right. Well, let's go down to Jovi.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I am Jovi Fermin, realtor with Charles Rothenberg Realty. So this morning I shared an article from the Florida Realtors in my Facebook business page and also on LinkedIn about the confusion and frustration with the new extended eviction moratorium, which is set to expire on October 3rd. So although the new order covers COVID hotspot only, according to the CDC map, Florida, almost every county in Florida is considered a high risk right now. So they're hoping that this extension provides enough time to deliver billions of dollars in rental assistance. And also, according to the article, the funds apparently having been slow to arrive to the people that have requested it. So for eligibility, tenants must complete and sign a declaration stating that their income was reduced because of the pandemic, that they are at risk of being homeless, that they have done their best to make rent payments and obtain government assistance. There is a form on the CDC website where they can apply. There's also a website called ourflorida.com where they have instructions for landlords and tenants to determine whether or not they're eligible and to submit an application. So as many of you already know, many of these housing providers are mom and pops business owners. And without rental income or rental assistance, they can pay their own bills and they can maintain these properties. So if you want to read more about this article, please go to my Facebook business page. And as always, if you have any question that is real estate related, please feel free to give me a call. Thank you, Jovi Fermin, Realtor.
All right, thanks, Jovi. And there's no Z in Pacesetter Media today, but we'll go with Dave.
Hi. Am I on? I think I am.
You are. We can hear you.
I'm just going to have a moment of silence. That's what that felt like. Pacesetter site. That's the thing today. That's what I'm talking about. I just updated the website, I think last week. I've been updating the plugin. It's not plugin, a theme for WordPress. It's a fast theme built for speed, which is important for Google more and more. Here's the new website that just updated this week. Look at the plane. It's going so fast. Doesn't that show speed? So here's the comparison of the two sites, one built Pacesetter site. It's a lot lighter. Here are the upgrades. It's mobile first. It's more, it's faster. I'm building it and testing it against the online speed audits and validating all of the code and ongoing improvements. So if you know someone who wants speed in their WordPress site, that's what I can help with. Getting their site fast using the WordPress theme. The Pacesetter site theme. Thanks.
Speed is really, really important to Google for optimization. So, so if you want to, talk to Dave, it's probably a good idea. Nishoni.
Hey there. So y'all know who I am and what I do. I help business owners, coaches, and consultants write their books so they can be seen as an authority in their niche, get speaking engagements, and gain more clients, increasing visibility to boost revenue. But not only do I help people through their courses, through my courses and programs to write their books and get their courses up and get speaking engagements, but I also do ghostwriting. And I also do copywriting for people. So if you have any questions about copywriting, or if you have any questions about writing your book, or if you know somebody who needs copywriting done or needs ghostwriting done, then please let me know.
Awesome. Thanks, Nishoni. Looks like, hey, Steve's joining us. Awesome. Hopefully we'll get back to him shortly. Edwina.
There, Edwina Reddick, Family Promise of Hillsborough County, serving the homeless families in our area, but also giving opportunity to faith communities and businesses to partner with us to deliver a holistic approach to homelessness. Edwina Reddick, Family Promise of Hillsborough County.
Awesome. And DJ is going to be our featured presenter today, so we'll come back to her. So, Deb. Don't see you.
I'm Deb Baker with London Baker Law. As Nishoni said, I think you all know what I do, but I do estate planning and probate, caring, compassionate, and concierge. Love to be your family's personal lawyer. Good referrals are people who are in committed relationships, not married, to really have them understand that they can't help each other at all if something happens. And families who have teenagers who are now at least 1 second past midnight on their 18th birthday, because their parents, as much as they don't like to think so, can also do nothing for their children at that point. Deb Baker, London Baker Law. And Dave, just so you know, the camera's not working. That's why I'm not on camera.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to Nisi.
Hi, everybody. Nisi Hassan, pet sitter, and I do apologize for not being here for quite a while. Business has been great, as I was saying earlier. I am looking my best friend is social media, such as Nextdoor. What's the other ones? Branded word of mouth, Riverview word of mouth, Sefner, whatever. Social media has been my best friend when it comes to referrals. I get a lot of calls from that. So, and I try also to refer people out as I see a need out there as well. So I'm pretty active on those sites as well. Again, I do house and pet sitting. I'm insured and bonded for that. And I also do transportation to doctor's appointments, nail salons, hair salons, you name it. Airports I even started doing again. So if there's anybody that needs my services, please let me know. And if you just need help, just ask. And if I'm able to do it, I will. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nisi. Steve, welcome back. Hopefully you're feeling better.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. But I got retested the other day and I've still got COVID. So still got this cough and I'm really wanting it to go away. Believe me.
I bet.
So Steve Connett, CPA, it's not stopping me from trying to do a little bit of work. It just slows me down. But just wanted to remind everybody that the time for the corporate return is getting closer at hand, September 15th. So really, if you've got a corporate return to do yet, you really need to get the information to your tax preparer by August 31st to give them plenty of time to get everything massaged and manipulated and get you a decent return. So that's the main thing I have to say today is just please don't wait till the last minute. Steve Connett, CPA.
All right. Thanks, Steve. And we all hope that you feel much better.
Thanks, Dave.
So last week we were talking a little bit about cryptocurrency and the issues that pop up with cryptocurrency. And ironically, just a couple of days ago, this popped up where hackers actually were able to hack out $600 million in cryptocurrency from a blockchain company. And basically the blockchain company would be like the host of the network. And so a whole bunch of people lost a whole bunch of money. So if you're thinking about investing in cryptocurrency, there's a reason why we advise against it. It's very, very high risk. It's not advised at all. You stand to lose as much as you gain. Most people that gained anything gained it, because they got in as early adopters, which is how it always works. You're probably not going to get rich quick. Give up on those dreams. Keep working. So if you want to talk more about it, call David at A Better Choice, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. So let's take this and go to DJ, our birthday girl, so that she can give us her 15-minute presentation.
Okay, so let's see if I can get it back on. Oops, wait a minute. Where did you go? All right, so 3 dots. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I see a bit about me personally.
Okay, so I thought I'd start about that because you guys don't know me, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about me. My husband and I got married. I was 17 and he was 18. We're still together and we still have fun. We have 2 sons and 3 grandsons. Our youngest son lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. He has 1 son who is 15. He plays tennis. He's rated in the United States. He plays with 18, 20-year-olds. Of course, he is 6'5". So that helps with his power for doing that. My oldest son lives in San Diego, California area. He has 2 sons. The oldest is in school to be a filmmaker. The youngest is an artist. So he's in art school. Just tell you a little bit, we're new here. You guys know that probably. This is our 41st move since we got married. And we've lived in 27 states. And I think 27 cities and about 20 states over our lifetime. I used to tell people we were in the witness protection program, but that's not true. My husband worked for a large general contracting company. And so we decided early on when he got the job out of college that we would just go with him instead of having him travel by himself all the time. So we just did. And so we traveled everywhere. We've lived as far east as Long Island, as far west as California, multiple places in California, as far north as Upper New York, and then Milwaukee, and then as far north or south as Sarasota, and then probably any major city you can think of in between. We've lived there. So this is pretty fun. We're glad to be in Lakeland. I have two sisters that live here and multiple nieces, nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews. So it's really fun here. My degree's in interior design.
DJ, before you go too much further, you may want to put that in presentation mode.
Oh, you're not? Yeah, I'm not in presentation mode.
No, we see all.
Click on from beginning at the top or from current slide at the top left. From current slide.
On my screen? On my screen?
Yeah, on your screen, on the top left where it says from current slide, where you see the slide presentation.
Right up on the file. Yeah.
Down a little bit. Right there. Click on that.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I've not done it through this program. Okay. On the business side, these are just some of the things I've done, and one of the reasons that I coach. I've been a stay-at-home mom, an insurance agent, executive director for a multi-level marketing company, regional recruiter, national trainer, and startup business coach. That's where I got my start as a business coach. I worked for a company that we trained women across the United States on how to start up their business. And after we got them started, we had only about 20 to 30% of them were still in business at the end of 1 year. So the owners of our company decided that it really made sense that they needed support during their startup time. So they sent several of us to be certified as coaches. And so that's where we started coaching. After about 18 months, we had over 80% of our women were still in business at the end of 2 years. So it really just, just made me fall in love with coaching. I've also been a realtor, a commercial broker, managing broker for boutique real estate company, and then Keller Williams of Bradenton. And now I'm a full-time coach. So only way you're going to know what I do is if you kind of experience it a little bit. Hey guys, how can I see you guys? Why do I not seeing you guys?
Probably will need 2 screens to see us while you're doing your presentation. So
I have 2 screens.
Oh.
I don't know why I don't see you. Okay, I can't. Yeah, I'm not
turned off my video so you have more room.
Do what?
I turned off my video.
DJ, you would have to drag the meeting over to one screen and your presentation over to the other screen.
Okay, I'm just not going to be able to see you. That's fine. Make noise, okay? So, all right. So get out a paper and pen. And we're going to, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, hold on a second. And I'm going to walk you through some things. We're going to pretend you're a prospective client, but I won't see your answers. So I'm going to ask you to judge these things. I'm going to ask you to rate your business 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So just start on a piece of paper and say, right, on 1 to 5, I'm 100% confident that I have the right plan in place to reach my goals. The next one, my business plan and P&L are reviewed and updated monthly using a system. The third thing is I have a marketing program that brings in new customers every month. The third is I have a retention program that brings existing customers back 6 times a year, minimum. And I have an accountability system in place that keeps me on track. This is making me crazy. I can't do this. Make you guys little. And let's see if I can.
Hey, DJ, what is a P&L?
Profit and loss.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay, now I can see you, but now I lost my screen. What do I do now? I'm totally lost. It's never worked like this before. Okay. All right. So the next thing I would ask them, can you show me your business plan right now? What I realized a long time ago is that people set up a business plan, but they don't look at it often, and they usually don't even know where it is. And then I would say, do you compare your sales goal with your actual sales every month? And then a question that most people don't ever ask is, can you meet your goal and still lose money with this plan? And what does that mean? That means that sometimes the goal is people get caught up in the goal of reaching a numbers goal. They want to sell X number of product or whatever that is. And they spend so much money trying to reach that goal at the end of the year, they've actually lost money, even if they've reached the number goal. So do you review your expenses using a budget planning system? Do you monitor the number of sales versus the time invested? And then, do you have a plan for hiring new employees? Then I might even go deeper. So I might ask them, where did their customers come from last month? What's your prospecting plan? What are your hiring plans? How many hours a week are you working? What would you change if you could? What would you do if money were no object? What's your largest concern about your future? And what keeps you awake at night? Don't try to watch those. Those are just show a little bit of how I might get deeply involved. This program usually takes about an hour, and it's what we call a business assessment. And then from there, if they decide to become a client, I'll just show you some of the tools that we use. This is one of our tools. It's called the GPS, Goals, Priorities, and Strategies. So we start with, what's your one goal for the year? So in this instance, this is a real client. They want to increase their division profit by 10%. And you can see in my little boxes up here that we want to make sure our goals and priorities and strategies are specific and measurable. And we want to work on the first thing first. So what's the first priority here? They want to increase their customer retention by 10%. And you see we assign names to that task. And then some of them you'll see there's even a date as when they're supposed to be completed. So our priority is this. Then our strategies are, how do we meet? What to do? The first thing is meet face-to-face with our top 20% of our customers. Then conduct a survey of past clients, on and on. So we have 5 different strategies. And I like to think of these priorities, they're like the little frogs, because if you are a business owner, and particularly if you're an independent business owner, you are full of ideas. Your brain works all the time. So you have all these ideas hopping around in your brain. So I want you to take the frogs, and I'm going to help you like stabilize them. Sit there on that lily pad until we put some strategies in place. And those are like balloons that would fill with helium. And we fill those up and we let them go one at a time. And once all those balloons are up in the air and they are working well, they're flying, they're doing their best, then we can move on to priority number 2 and then number 3. And that's how we gain control of our business. So a sample flow chart for a client with us in a perfect world would work like this. We'd start with a strategy, we'd go to goal setting, business plan, weekly planning, then we go to setting up a scorecard program, financial actuals versus goals versus actuals, budget planning, review, finding the gaps that we discovered during this process, the prior process, time management, customer program development, existing customer programs, new customer programs, review, find the gaps, employee programs, hiring procedures, and employee training. So not every client comes in needing all of these things. So I might have a client that comes in and says, I can't keep an employee. They come, they go, I train them, they go find another job. That for some reason, they're just not staying. So we would start then with the employee programs. Or they might come in and say, I just need accountability. I know what to do, but I'm not doing it. So then we're going to start with setting up a scorecard program to keep them on track, and time management. Those are the things we're going to work on. So even though we have a sample flow chart, it doesn't always work that way. It's what does a client need? So what does a client receive from me? Individually, weekly, on a one-to-one coaching, or an experienced certified coach, that's me. We can do group or team coaching. So if you have employees, often what I do is that I will work with the owner at the first and the last of the month, and in between do team coaching. So the owner knows at the beginning of the month what's gone on the month before and what he wants to happen for that month. At the end of the month, then we do a review and then figure out what we need to do for the next month. We set up a proprietary business management system. It monitors financial goals versus actual sales, budget planning, expense control, take a drink of coffee, prospecting program, customer retention program, time management program, employee programs, additional client-only training process, podcast, and more. And my cost is less than a virtual assistant, which you probably don't need if you got your system in some place. So before I move on, does anybody have any questions?
Do you work with nonprofits?
I do, as a matter of fact. Our company just signed a national contract with a nonprofit that's helping women that have escaped from human trafficking to start their own business. So yes, we do.
DJ, this is Deb.
Yeah.
What company are you affiliated with? You referred to it many times or several times.
Business Maps Coaching.
Business
Maps, MAPS. That stands for Measurable.
Okay.
Accountable Productive Systems. Our company was started by Gary Keller of Keller Williams, and who owns about 160 companies, by the way. But and it originally started as a coaching program for realtors, but about 3 or 4 years ago, realized that this was something that could be tweaked so that any business owner could use it, not just realtors.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Questions? Okay, let's see if I can get back on my screen. So, all right. So, what's a good referral for me? My ideal clients are commission-based sales. As you might remember from my first slides, I've been in sales all my life. So I love salespeople and sales organizations. The majority of my coaching has been to sales teams and independent contractors, closely followed by small start businesses. Commission-based sales, mortgage, title. I really enjoy working with insurance companies, mortgage brokers, art galleries, whatever. Independent professionals, architects, engineers, attorneys, CPAs that run their own business are a good fit for me as well. Small to medium business, 3 to 5 years in business with 2+ employees is like my sweet spot. That's like perfect for me. But I like working with different people. I'd also like to work with dentists, chiropractors, investors, property managers, startup businesses that have the necessary capital to do that. Internet businesses, social media, Amazon. We actually had an Amazon client that came on board, and he was selling on Amazon retail, buying things in China and selling them, and set a goal of making $1 million a year in profit. And we were like, no, that's not going to happen. I have a partner. And to ourselves, not to him, but actually in 3 years he did. And so that's pretty amazing. We do have a referral fee program. So we pay monthly for the length of the coaching contract. Our programs start at $1,500 a month, and then they go up depending on how many sessions that you want. It's all based on the number of sessions. Our sessions are 30 to 45 minutes a session. If you want one session a week, it's $1,500, and then depending what you want, it goes up from there. If you refer a client that goes with a basic program, you receive $100 a month. 2,000 a month, you get 200, 3,300. If you are coaching with me, then you get an additional $100 for each referral that you bring in for the length of the contract. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Please keep your ears open for things like this. I'm getting burned out. My husband, my wife is mad at me. I didn't get home until 7 o'clock last night. I didn't get home until 10 o'clock. I've been working on Sundays. It's getting harder and harder to keep good people. Customers just aren't loyal anymore. I wish I knew how to get more business. I hate spending so much time trying to keep track of where we are. I'm thinking about closing my doors and going to work for somebody else. I'm crazy, but this is the big one now with lenders and construction people. I'm crazy busy now, but I'm concerned about what happens afterwards. And you know what? They're going to crash because you can't keep up the speed that they're working at right now. My nephew is a mortgage broker, and we work with his team. And I wonder how he's still alive. If you hear somebody say, I wake up at night wondering if we're really making any money. Or the big one for me is, I need an assistant to take care of stuff I don't have time to do. So I'm going to take this down again and ask. Do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
I do. Yes, I had to unmute myself. Sorry. So a lot of my clients right now, DJ, are struggling with finding employees. There seems like it's a universal thing that I hear constantly. What do you suggest for those clients that are actually looking and having trouble with finding employees?
Finding people that want to work, I don't have an answer for. That's just, however, in the real world, not what we're in right now, but in the real world, what happens most often with employers is that they hire the wrong people. They hire their brother-in-law, they hire their sister's friend, they hire somebody that comes in and makes a really good impression on them. They don't have a model set up. So what we do is help people set up a model for what's the employee going to be, look like, act like, what's their background, what's their personality type, how do I get the right person in the right seat? So it isn't important that you like them. It's more important that they do the job and that they're the right person for the right seat. And that's very difficult for small business owners. For large businesses, it's not. It's a system. So what we do, we take in that system that the big companies use, and we brought that down to where it's available to you as a client. So first thing we do is we have them take a personality profile, but it's not like most of you are probably familiar with the DISC profile and those type of things. And it's based on that, but it's not, the results are not on, are you outgoing? Are you, introverted or whatever? It's more like we put it in for if you want an office manager. So we put it in as like, how does this person over the whole scheme of things, how do they fit in that role? And so now as an employer and with your coach, you can do an interview and have that personality profile, what we call validated. And you'd be amazed at how much comes out when you have an independent person sitting there that doesn't have a vested interest in that person and that they can hear with open ears. As a matter of fact, I made this mistake years ago. I hired a guy to be as my CFO, and he was a great interview. You know what I mean? He just showed up, and boy, was he on it. He wasn't in my office 6 weeks before he made a sexist comment to one of the clients that came in, and before I could even get to him to fire him, he made a racist comment. And it was like, how did this not show up? And I know now that it was because I didn't ask the right questions. I didn't listen for the right answers. I might have even asked the right questions, but I wasn't listening because I needed that position filled. You ever been there? You need that position filled. And I hear clients say all the time, it's better to have somebody than nobody. Well, no, sometimes it's not. It's better to have the right person in there. And we just had this happen a few weeks ago. A construction company that I work with that's up north. He last year he said he was going to, because I only meet with him quarterly. So last year he said he was going to let this lady go that headed up one of his departments. And so when we met at the first quarter of this year, I said, "So did you let her go?" "No, I haven't found anybody else, and I don't want to hurt her feelings. I really like her, and well, she's doing the job any better." "No, and we've lost some clients because of her and whatever." So we set up a plan, and I said, "Let's do this. Why don't you ask her if she likes her job? When you do her review, why don't you ask her if she likes her job?" And so we did the role play, she says this, what are you going to think, blah, blah, blah. Well, so he called her in and he asked her if she liked her job. And she said, "No, I hate it. And as a matter of fact, I've been looking for another job." And he said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" And she said, "Because I like you." And he said, "Well, I like you too, but you're not very good for this job." And she said, "Why don't you start looking for somebody, and I will start looking for a job, and I'll stay 2 weeks after you find him and train him, and then we can still be friends." Now, isn't that the perfect way that you let somebody go? But he was so afraid to ask her if if she liked the job, or because he didn't want to lose her friendship. So a lot of it is having that model in place and then having training. I talked to somebody the other day that she said, "I can't keep an employee." And she said, "They don't want to help me grow my business." And I said, "What's in it for them?" And she's like, "What do you mean it's a job?" Well, they got to have something in it, and they got to have some skin in the game. They got to know why they're doing it. They have to be invested, Well, no, I'm paying them a salary. Well, that's a mindset shift. You got to, nobody's here to make you rich. If you want them to do a job, show up and do their job and leave, and not come to after hour events, and not come in early because you think that they should, then make them invested. Give them something. So you've got to have something for them. So it's all about finding the right person and training and allowing them to have some say in what they're doing in their world. So does that make sense, David? Or did I go on? I'm a really passionate.
I want to say something about that. When I was doing coaching and doing assessments, and I'm sure DJ's experiences, the thing is that you let the job ask the questions, not the people, because what people want to either hire themselves, or they want to hire the opposite of themselves, or whatever. And so it doesn't stay objective. And the 2 or 3 I did, the CEOs were absolutely aghast at what the job wanted, because it wasn't what they thought the job wanted. And one was a sales executive, and the CEO said, "No, we need this person." And I said, "Well, none of your people think that." So, and another one was a CEO who wanted to replace himself, and he just decided it didn't matter that his 10 key most trusted employees said, "This is what we need." He said, "Never mind, I'm not stepping down." But it's really, what DJ is saying is really really, really valuable. And DJ, there's a good book you might want to read called Noise, The Flaw in Human Judgment.
I haven't heard that one. Okay.
By Daniel Kahneman. And it's about, if we're hiring and we're looking for the person we like, we're influenced, well, just kind of like you said, with this guy interviewed really well, maybe. But it's a very, very interesting book. But yeah, to interview for the job is a whole different thing than interviewing for who I like, I don't have to like the person I hire. I just have to respect them and trust that they'll get the job done.
And take responsibility. Employers don't take responsibility. It's always the employee's fault. And sometimes it is. Many times it is. But you hired them. So isn't it your fault that you didn't do a better job of hiring them? So,
All right.
anybody else?
Hey, DJ, yeah, Nishoni has a question.
DJ, when we are referring you out, is there any specific type of person that you won't work with?
Realtors. And that's because we have a real estate arm to our company that only coaches realtors. So we don't coach realtors.
Okay.
And honestly, just between all of us, I work I retired, so I came back. This is what I'm doing. I love it. I only work 3 days a week. I only want 8 to 10 clients, and I'm not going to work with somebody that doesn't want to participate and do their job. They're part of it, and I want to work with people I like and that are committed. So,
So somebody that's coachable, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have a friend that might be interested, but I need to know, do you work with, how many coaches have you worked with? He's a coach and he's looking to build his coaching business as far as getting clients into his programs and things like that, using social media to do so. Is that somebody that you would work with?
Sure. Absolutely.
Then I'll mention you to him.
Yeah, put us in touch, and if it isn't, I'll tell him. And maybe.
All right, we've got a couple more minutes ready for questions. If anybody else has questions.
I'm sorry. I want to make sure. Did you say that it was $1,500 a month?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And DJ, what does that entail? Because I know that you had several different tiers. So, what does that include versus the higher tiers?
Okay. Okay. Let me get out of this. I'm just going to go over here. I do want to tell you this before I say that. I don't know. There's a lot of noise, but if you would like to experience a full business review for yourself, I would be more than happy to do that for you for free, and give you a. Where'd you go? I'm going to stop sharing.
Yep.
Okay, now all I have to do is find you guys again. Where did you go? Are you there?
We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Jeez, I'm like a pain. This is awful. Why are you not showing up? There you are. Okay. So I would offer you a free business assessment and a free half-hour coaching session. For the $1,500, you get all the systems, all the tools, access to everything. We set you up on a scorecard, what we call a scorecard. It's easier to show you than to tell you what it is, but for simplicity purposes, it's like an overexpanded Excel spreadsheet that has everything that you need. It has your client information, your client growth information. It has your financials, it has your P&L, it has your goals versus financial, it has your time management system, everything all in one place, so that you can open that up every morning and you can see where you are exactly in your business and move forward. It includes weekly calls and you get me, and I'm good at what I do. I have had businesses double and triple their business in less than a year, just by having. And I'll tell you what, it's accountability. Honestly, guys, it's all about accountability. I don't care if you're 60 or you're 6. If you know somebody's going to see your homework that you did for the week, you're going to do it. And so many times life gets in our way, and the minutia, the 80% of things that give us nothing. There's a book I'd encourage all of you to read. It's called The One Thing. And it's a book by Gary Keller, and it talks about how that just by doing the one thing every day that would make everything else unnecessary or unimportant will change your life. And that's kind of what we coach to. Drill it down to doing the one thing every day that's going to build your business and make you happy. Give you free time. Give you time to have vacation.
All right. If you want to learn more, set up a one-on-one with DJ.
I do have a question, David, for her.
Yeah. Yes.
So you mentioned that you don't coach realtors. Is because we're not accountable, or because of your prior business with Keller Williams? Because
No. We don't coach
I
realtors
just
because there's
I'm
another.
so sorry. I was writing, so I was like, did I?
We don't
Sorry.
coach realtors because we have a real estate coaching company, and so that is specifically for realtors. So
Thank you. See, I'm.
let me know, and I'll get you in touch with the real estate side.
Thank you. No, see, I know. I'm like, I didn't hear right. So let me just make sure.
I do love you.
She said She said, "I don't coach realtors. You uncultured swine," is what she said. No, all good. Okay, so DJ, excellent presentation. Thank you for doing that. We'd love to learn more. As we get to know you even more down the road. If anyone else wants to come and present their business to Brandon Biz Pros, then they can do so. Obviously, for those of you that may be watching this online later, it's $50 to join our group, which includes your first month, and then $10 a month after that to stay a member. We are seat specific. Once you become a member, you own the seat, and then you decide whether or not you're going to allow somebody else in the room that might be a competitor or not. So we got lots of positions open, so come check us out. All right, so a little bit of housekeeping items. Jan Tender, I know many of you realize that Jan has been away for a while. She's on a leave of absence because of, she's been taking care of her granddaughter and her daughter. There was an update on Facebook, I believe, last night. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick and share it with everyone. But it looks like Peyton has lost or has gained. She's gained 3 pounds, which is extremely good for her. So it looks like she's gained a little weight. She's finally able to get nutrients. For those of you that don't know, Peyton's gone through multiple surgeries, and so hopefully she'll be on the mend, and we can see Jan back with us again soon. So any thoughts or prayers that you have for Jan, her family, and Peyton, please add them to your list. If you haven't put your notes or put the information in the notes of the call, please do so, or the notes of our meeting, so that everyone gets an email. If you haven't paid your dues, please jump onto Venmo and send over or mail a check to the address that's at the top of the notes. All right. So thank yous and acknowledgments. That's the fun part. And I'll start off by showing off this nice, wonderful new shirt that I got from Dave and Pacesetter Media. And it's really lightweight. Might show my nipples a little bit, but hey, that's okay. Yeah, I know. Cringy, right? It's all good. So anyway,
we can't see it, David.
So anyway.
Yeah, but now that's what we have to think about.
I always love to share. So, if I wouldn't have been doing this job, I'd be a stripper. So, anyway, so I love the shirts. I ordered 2 more of them, and I'm probably going to order some for the guys because they're jealous now. But I might actually do a little different color for them, which, so we'll see. Although Stella loves the shirt too, and I think she found a little snag over here where she actually. But all good. She got me right up here, and she's like, "Oh wow, nice shirt, Dad. Here, let me put my mark on it." But it's all good. So anyway, if you are looking to, to get a lightweight, nice summer shirt, talk to Dave with Pacesetter Media, who also does a lot of web work for us, and we're excited about some of the new things that are coming down the road. So anybody else? Jovi, your weekly thank you for all the work you've done for us and for the caramels you sent.
Oh, nice.
Jovi has been in the process of selling everything we own as far as real estate goes and buying and stuff like that. So she's amazing. Yeah, Steve for coming in, even though he's not feeling all that well.
Yeah.
And Danielle for keeping me sane. So
wait,
look at that look.
That doesn't sound possible.
Hey, hold on. Am I keeping you sane, then I must be using some of my own sanity. Which right this current moment, I have none to spare. So I'd like to have it back, please.
No. No, can't. No give backs. So, anybody else?
Yeah, I want to thank Jovi. We're working on something together. I'm still waiting for some information from her just to see if there's anything more to do. But the first part of it is ready to get executed. And Dave and I did 5 videos a week or so ago. I promised him I'd review them yesterday. Well, that didn't happen, but I'll, they're on the thing for today. And I really enjoy working with him.
Thanks. I like doing that too. I have in mind to start offering that as a service, to record people online. It's sort of like a very simple production process. But Deb is also very good at just 3 minutes in front of a camera, having to be prepared. She can do her 3 minutes and we can get it recorded. But it's a potential service for lots of people. I would like a better video, but that's another.
Well, we keep talking about that, but the budgetary constraint. Dave Thornton gets involved in that.
The system for recording it is pretty low resolution. I'd have to subscribe to a high res recording service, but neither here nor there. Thank you.
So, and Edwina and I are working on something together, which will come together eventually. Actually, I'm still waiting on some information from her, but generally, we're pretty ready to go, and I really appreciate it. And DJ, that was a good presentation. Thank you.
Yes, for sure.
Even though I'm technology deficit.
You did well with the technology.
I want to thank Deb for being patient with me. Oh my gosh. I'm just I tell you. But she is so patient and she's joyful with the whole process. She hasn't knocked me upside the head yet. So thank you for that, Deb.
You're welcome.
I have to call you today for my parents. So I'll be calling you later today.
And Dave Thornton gets thanked every month because he keeps me sane. What was that, Deb? I don't know, Dave, but you're the expert. So log in and make it better, and he does.
Except for your camera. I don't know what the heck happens with your camera.
Except for my camera, yeah. No.
I don't know if I publicly or not, but Danielle has been a lifesaver for my family, literally. And I want to thank you for that because oh my gosh, yeah, we're happy now. We're a happy family again.
It was quite a mystery. I'm glad we solved it.
Okay. Anybody have any announcements? Well, everybody saw a Facebook post recently, probably, and if you didn't, it means that you're probably getting something in the mail in the next couple of weeks. So might want to mark on your calendars if you didn't see it, October 16th, because there's a big Biz Pros event happening that day that some of you will be on virtually, and some of you will probably be, very few people, because unfortunately we're keeping it down to 35, will be there to witness our marriage. So Billy and I will be getting married at 2 p.m. on October 16th. So
it's a date. Save the date.
So, also pray, please, for no hurricanes or bad weather for that Saturday. So some mild temperatures and all that would be very, very nice. So, but
David, if it makes you feel any better, my husband and I got married and outside for an outside wedding. And it was in the middle of a drought in Ohio, and it rained that day, of course. We put everybody in a tizzy over all the stress of, what do we do now? Because everything was planned for outside. Thankfully, it was so dry, everything dried up, and we were able to still put outside. But we've been married 30 years now, so.
Well, that's
rain
awesome.
Is not always a bad thing.
We still want you to do your commercial because I know you came in a little bit late. But real quick, too, my first marriage, our wedding actually started. It was actually like almost 100 degrees outside, outdoors. And as the wedding progressed, it got darker and windier. And as it turns out, towards the end, a tornado touched down, which pretty much just signifies everything that happened in my marriage.
That
Aw.
is the most obvious red flag.
It was, yeah. So, Eileen, do you want to do your commercial?
Yes, and I apologize for being late today. My son he's on the swim team, and so we had to get him to practice. And so if you hear a bunch of water in the background, that's why. But AJ Westfall, your full service residential and commercial cleaning company. We are looking for employees. So if anyone knows someone that's looking for a job, we would love to have them come and check us out. We are hardworking. And we do the job right the first time. We guarantee our work. So if you have a problem with anything, we will come back and fix it at no extra charge to you. AJ Westfall, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
And I have a thank you for Miss Aileen. Tony did an excellent job on the property in Sefner, which is set to close today. So she did an awesome job. So thank you so much.
I would
Thank
come
you.
over and say hi if I knew you were there.
Yeah, new neighbor.
Yovi, did you say you're closing today?
It's scheduled to close this afternoon. Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Okay. Do you have all the information you need from me about the proceeds?
The title company should have it, but
I
I'll send
haven't
them an email.
spoken to your title company.
I'll have them. I'll give them a call this morning to make sure everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all might want to take that offline here. I'm going to turn off the recording.